We're going live. Transition.
60 seconds, man. We were so close.
We're never going to be on
close,
time.
man.
Never going to be on time.
We even got called out in the comments about being late. So it
seriously,
60
there was like 21 minutes a couple weeks ago.
Can you cut me like 60 seconds?
Look, we were working. Plus, somebody turned 45. Larry, you took it away from me. I was going to call him out on it. Right as the show opened, I was going to call him out on it. I was like, oh, hey, by the way, happy 45th birthday. Because I had heard about it. But then somebody had to come in and make a comment.
I look good for 45. I look
I'll
really
tell you
good for
what.
45. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Technically Speaking live show. I am one of your two hosts. My name is Greg. To my left, as always, on the lower end of mediocre. What do you think about that? Call me 45.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We're in a fight now. It's happening.
We're in a fight?
Yeah.
You want to talk about
we're fighting. No, I don't. Hug it out.
You want to hug?
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I know better because we'll hug it out. Love you, buddy.
There's a lot of beard love right
this
there.
Guy.
Scat.
Falcon Heavy 9.
Falcon 9 Heavy.
Falcon 9.
You screwed it up.
Jesus,
That's all right.
suck.
Old age.
Yeah.
Falcon 9 Heavy.
It's going to be one of those
Falcon
shows.
9 Heavy. It's going to be a spicy show.
Yeah,
because
I feel it.
We've literally not seen each other all week.
Well, no. Did we have lunch together at all?
No.
Wow, no, we haven't. Oh, yeah, no, because I've been busy,
Yes.
legit all week. So have you.
Yeah, what have you been doing?
Look,
we all know my schedule is trash. Trash.
Yeah.
Not a good schedule. So this was one of those weeks where he was busy, I was busy. We were throwing topics into a document, and there's actually some topics this week.
There's some good stuff
some
that
good
happened
ones,
this last
but,
week. There's some interesting stuff that happened in the last couple of days. If you want to, oh wow, I'm so prepared. Hang on.
You legitimately even have it up. Okay,
I don't
so here's
have
what we're
it
gonna
up
do. Roll 2 commercials.
Yeah,
You
can
cool
do
with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Roll
By the
2
way,
commercials.
let's just get it out of the way so that way we can have our moments. Okay. Let's pay the
Roll 2
bills.
commercials.
Let's just pay the bills.
Today's video is brought to you by our friends at Minimal, who make one of the best ultra slim phone cases I've ever seen on the market. At just 0.35 millimeters thick and zero branding on the case, you get to keep that classic look of your phone, and it provides a little bit of extra protection as well. Check them out in the links within the description below. Today's video is brought to you by our friends at Rinky, who make some of the best phone cases. From the Max, Air, Slim, and Fusion, they have a ton of choices for your smartphones. I'm currently rocking a Clear Fusion on my Pixel 2 XL and absolutely love it. Check them out in the links within the description below.
Probably should fix the audio on those commercials.
Yeah.
We're not professionals.
Hey, let us know if those commercials were too loud. I'm pretty sure they were.
I'm almost positive that they were.
Yeah. So we'll fix that next time. So anyway,
that's my bad.
we got actually a handful of actually interesting topics. Unlike the last couple of weeks where it just seems like there's really not been a lot that has happened in the world of technology. A lot of minor stuff.
Nate coming through, Mr. Mayor coming
Mayor.
through, saying saw on national TV that one of the two of you was having a 45th birthday tomorrow. 45! Number 45! Brought to you by
jokes and
hashtag 45 Falcon 9 Heavy.
Falcon 9 Heavy.
God, did we even start a show? How many minutes are we doing? We're 4 minutes deep. We haven't talked about anything.
4 minutes deep, and all you've done is talk about me being 45 and you being Falcon 9 Heavy. So,
Interesting topics.
Oh, come on. Professional.
Man.
Professional.
Okay, let's go with
so, right at the top, you want to talk about...
Talk about why no one should care. Okay, let's get the first thing out of the way.
Do you think?
Amazon. I know this is not coming to Columbus.
Oh, you're going there. Okay.
I'm going there
Yeah.
first. Amazon, I know you're not coming to Columbus.
But you should.
In my heart of hearts, I want you to come to Columbus. I love you, Amazon. Please come to Columbus.
Yeah.
I hear that you may have some data. Rumor on the street.
Is it would you classify it as large, big?
Like big data?
Yeah.
I
It's not
hear
small.
I hear that it has some size.
Portly stature.
Falcon 9 Heavy. I know Amazon's probably not. The chance is there was some crazy report about there's a Bermuda Triangle in the United States where Amazon is basically the second headquarters is going to be somewhere from Cleveland, Ohio-ish, basically the tip top of Ohio, all the way down to somewhere around like Dallas, Texas,
Yeah.
and then all the way over to like the Carolinas. So
Yeah.
think of a triangle. If some of you know geography, and I am not one of those, that forms a triangle sometime in the Midwest-ish, East Coast-ish of the United States.
You said sometime. I want to point that out. Sometime in the Midwest-ish. But go ahead. Scott,
no,
go
hang
ahead.
on.
Scott explains geography. That's today.
I don't know if you know this, but at one point, the world, all the continents were connected.
Oh, God.
Am I wrong?
I mean...
Am I
not.
wrong?
Oh, God. Your dog is knocking over the camera.
Am I wrong? At one point in the world, at one point, could have been 250 million years ago, but at one point, all the continents were connected.
You're correct. Yeah.
I know I'm correct.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Say that one more time for the crowd. Say it for the person in the back who can't hear you.
250 million years ago, you were correct.
Boom sauce. Anyway,
You take it.
chances are, my guess, I'm going to go on record and say my guess
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
it's going to go to Atlanta.
I actually read an article that had a lot to say for outside of DC. There's a number of reasons for it, and there's a lot of information that might even indicate that it's outside of DC is being heavily considered because. So first of all, Jeff Bezos has a house not too far outside of Arlington, Virginia, so DC type of area.
Sure.
And there's already a data center in that general vicinity. Number two, not that really
That
matters
doesn't
that
matter
much.
at all. That
I
would
know.
actually give us a chance.
No, it doesn't. Well, yeah,
Yeah, it does.
we have a data center. I got that, but just saying, like, as far as like locality of other Amazon resources, the fact that Jeff Bezos has a house there, there's an Amazon data center there, and the other one that they're kind of pointing to, saying this is why they're looking. This is how we can prove, or I guess suggest that they're looking at it so heavily. There is a web page run by a town kind of outside of Alexandria, Virginia, that had some type of like tax information up on their webpage. Like, hey, come here and check out like all the cool stuff that we have going on here. And it just got smashed by web traffic one day. And so the web people that ran the website were looking at the traffic stats and like, oh, all of this is coming from Amazon headquarters. That's interesting.
Okay, so let me refute a few things.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm
You
still
refute away.
I still think it's Atlanta, but here's why I'm going to tell you.
I
It's
think
more
it's
likely
going
to
to
be Columbus. You
almost spit coffee out, yeah.
Anyway, so there is a Amazon disbursement center. What are we calling it? Distribution center.
Yeah.
There's all over the place,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
there's a big one down in Kentucky, much closer to Columbus, Ohio, rather than Washington D.C. So that's the first bit. So yeah, I would agree with you that it has to be close to some type of distribution center.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything. We have a data center here in Columbus.
Yep.
So that kind of refutes the other one. The one I cannot refute is the last one.
Yes.
I can't refute that.
Correct.
But here's what I can tell you. Jeff, if you're watching, because we all know that Jeff is a huge fan of Technically Speaking.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Look, let's spread that on Twitter.
JBZ. JBZ.
You're so stupid.
Columbus has the cheapest rent. You literally would be the most popular man in Ohio. Columbus by far.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the only one that might get close to you would be Urban Meyer. And I bet you he would gladly be your BFF.
Yeah, probably.
If you come to Columbus, you pretty much get blank check. You're talking about blank
yeah, oh,
check.
yeah.
Because you're putting Columbus, Ohio as basically Silicon Valley.
I hate that term so much.
I know you hate it,
I
but
hate
it's
it so
not
much.
wrong.
Yeah.
And that's
you're
the
right.
thing is like it's a really big tech community.
It's
Jeff.
Columbus legitimately has a surprisingly large tech community.
Change
I will
the
give them
world,
that
Jeff.
much. Yeah.
Come to us, and look, we'll bring you on the show.
We'll do you a favor.
Hey, you just come
bring
here.
you on
we'll
our
bring
show.
you on the show. Somebody,
I love it.
For the love of God, just tag Jeff, JBZ,
Yeah.
on Twitter. Tag us.
Let them know that
And
Falcon
then
9
link in
Heavy.
Falcon 9 Heavy. You know what? Go ahead and tag Elon too. He can come to Columbus. I don't care. And we'll
that'd be
talk
great.
about. You know what? We'll take him to dinner. I know a great restaurant on the street. Bob Evans. Down on the farm.
Oh god. Oh man.
I can promise you, they're not coming to Columbus for Bob Evans.
No.
But Bob Evans.
No, they're not. But it is good. I could eat breakfast there all day, every day. Anyway, rebranded Google Pay app.
So this is interesting.
It looks good.
Have you seen it? Did you get it?
Yeah.
Friend of the channel,
Yeah. Longtime friend of the channel.
longtime friend of the channel, sent us the APK, and so we got it.
Yeah.
And it looks great. It is something that I can start to see that Google is getting their act together when it comes to, okay, we've got to start branding this whole either Google Pay or Android Pay.
yeah.
Like it's like, oh,
They're
no, hang
dumping
on.
Android for
They're
Google.
They're doing
Yeah.
the solid of Google.
Yeah.
And they needed to do that.
I think they do, yeah. Apple Pay.
Apple Pay, Google Pay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a big one. There's a
Yeah.
Samsung Pay, but that is trash. So bad. Because it used to...
It's behind
It
the...
started,
Yeah.
I believe, Samsung got behind a payment system that had a really bad name when it first started. ISIS?
I don't remember that.
There was a payment system called ISIS,
Whoops.
named that before the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
group.
yeah.
And then they've since rebranded it. And I don't remember which one it is.
So funny.
It used to be ISIS Pay. And I can't believe... Okay, FBI, if you're watching, I am Googling ISIS Pay, not because I want to pay them.
Oh, God. I can hear the black helicopters hovering already.
I can't believe I have to type ISIS payment system. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So it's formerly SoftCard. It was a joint venture between AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. Yeah, they totally screwed it up.
Yeah.
And then they rebranded it SoftCard because
that's
ISIS.
That's probably a better brand for them. So I think the interesting thing is, like, to your point, as far as Google finally really getting behind, so the naming conventions, kind of getting away from Android. I feel like at this point, Android almost kind of has a slightly negative connotation to it, especially when you compare it to some of the Apple products that are out there. And this is us saying that even as Google fans. Android has a negative connotation. It kind of speaks to, like, you know, a splintered environment, like a bunch of different devices, kind of a crappy user experience,
Which is really unfortunate.
It's super unfortunate. And one of the things that kind of impressed me about Android Pay, or I guess Google Pay now, is the fact that the UI looks pretty good. Like, it's very clean, it's very minimalistic, and it really feels like what they did was look at kind of the things that make Apple Pay popular, the ease of use things, the UI UX stuff, and included a lot of those design cues in the application itself. So I'll be interested to see whether or not this kind of attracts more people to the platform, to see if we're really going to start to see a second renaissance of mobile pay. I know you used it a lot when it first came out.
I still actually use it quite a bit.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I don't.
I bet you I probably use mobile pay probably a couple times a week.
Yeah, I don't.
I
I probably should.
It's something. Here's the thing: it's like it's very secure.
Yeah,
It's super secure because Scott explains the tech. Here it comes. This is the really, really bad explanation.
Can't wait for this one.
So when you put your
Scott explains geography. Scott explains.
So when you put your credit card information into Apple Pay or Google Pay or whatever you choose, I'm going to go with those two. I don't know what that was.
Okay.
I don't know what that was.
So
when you do that, every time you scan that card, it's not scanning those credit card numbers. It's actually going to the bank saying, I need a one-time, basically a burner account number to go to that vendor, buy the thing, and then it deletes.
we call that an OTP, a one-time pad, or a one-time password.
Okay, so I didn't know what that was, but that's what they do. And so just in case that number's ever taken, it's null and void. It's worthless to the person who's stealing it. Very cool system, and I like it a lot. The problem is, and this was a great thing for Google Pay, what was Android Pay at the time, is when Apple was like, no, Apple Pay is going to be a thing and I'm going to make it work. All of a sudden, everyone that didn't want to do Android Pay had to accept Android Pay because it's the same tech. It is the exact same tech.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah,
that's really clever by Google then
Yes.
to basically ride the same type of technology stack so that there's no excuse. Like,
Yeah,
if you're
there
going
is
to take
no
Apple
excuse.
Pay, there's no excuse why you can't
if you
take
take
Google.
Apple Pay, you take Google Pay.
That's super interesting.
And so the thing is they had that out. They had that out there for years before Apple did. Years before
I didn't
Apple.
know that.
And then no one turned it on.
Huh.
As a matter of fact, places that would accept soft card wouldn't turn on their system unless it was a soft card. like, or what was formerly known as
Yeah.
ISIS, I guess. But so as soon as Apple Pay is like, no, you can pay with your watch, you can pay with your phone, you can do all these things, it became something that almost every place out in the world had to accept Apple Pay because everybody wanted that. And now Google works in the same stack. So you will always see if it says Apple Pay, it will work with Google Pay almost every single time. I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't.
That's a really shrewd business move on Google's part.
And the thing was, it was an
same
accident. It was a total accident. I can't imagine that it was a situation where it was done purposely because it came out before Apple Pay. That's the thing. They didn't. Nothing's changed.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very, very cool, and I like it a lot. So
Brian has an interesting comment. He says, my bank won't support it because they have their own sucky solution that you can only use credit cards with. I have no way to use my debit card with mobile. They support Apple Pay, however.
So that's a problem, not with a Google issue. That's a bank. It's a bank issue. So
which makes me wonder about my bank, too. I think it will work.
Your bank does work. I'm fairly sure.
Okay.
His account number is. Yeah. So that's a big Google Pay thing. Like, I would really like the nice thing is like I have a Pixel device. If I want to request money from somebody in my Amazon, in my Android messages now, I can actually pull it up and request dollars, much like I did with Google Wallet before. So I can just get your Gmail and say, you give me money.
You're right.
And I can do that with other people.
I think we've done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I actually prefer that.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
What's next?
You want this. The world's largest solid-state drive. Dude, I'm so glad that you included this one. Like, most people aren't going to care about this.
No.
But these are the things that make me, oh my God, I want this so bad.
So this is great for creators like us that have gigabytes of just stuff. So
gigabytes, yeah. I wish that I only had gigabytes.
Well, you have more stuff than I do.
Sure,
but I have gigabytes of just stuff, photos, documents.
You're coming real close to terabytes, man.
Am I?
Oh yeah, I bet so.
Well, I do.
I bet you're knocking on 1 terabyte.
So I know that I've made really close to 80 videos.
That's impressive.
Really close.
Yeah.
Because together we have 119. The channel itself has 119. Some of them you won't see because they're private.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's really impressive.
Private. Well, the live shows also kind of count. But this is one of those situations like, so Samsung, I'm sorry, you go ahead. I'm stepping all over you. You get excited about this. No.
Look, my only interest in it is capacity of storage, right? So even if you're not like really big into computer technology, everybody kind of knows that hard drive capacity continues to get bigger. Like the amount of crap that you can store on a computer continues to go up. We kind of hit a plateau for a little while. Like spinning disk, old school hard drives kind of tapped out. They're much slower and much less efficient than kind of the current technology, which is solid state drives, which are significantly faster. But solid state drives for the longest time have had the severe problem of having not much capacity. And now within the last handful of years, we're starting to see 1 and 2 terabyte solid state drives. The latest is Samsung unveiling the world's largest solid state drive, which is 30 terabytes. And let me tell you,
that is a lot of space.
Man, I just want 3. You give me 3.
You can go get 3 right now. You can get that same form factor.
Sure can. Have to mortgage my house probably 3 times.
For that one? Okay.
Them's is
hang on.
Pricey.
They are not cheap. Samsung SSD.
I don't think that the price for these has even
Is
been
it the
released
850 EVO?
No. That's
this one.
Right, but that's not the drive. The entire chipset and drive and stuff like that is the PM1643, which has not been released and they don't even have a price attached to it yet.
So the Samsung 850 EVO.
Yep.
1 terabyte.
1 terabyte.
One that doesn't have as much stuff as that one.
Correct. Un terabyte.
Terabyte is I can go right now to Newegg and get it for $350.
Yeah. So I have a 12 terabyte storage server at home. So 350 times 12.
The dog is scratching himself. Right?
Dog is scratching
He's
himself.
Just straight up. Hi, bear. No.
We have a dog. If
There's
you see
a dog right here.
in shot, That's why, because it's a dog.
Nope, there he
There
is.
he is. Hey, buddy, welcome to the show.
Are you actually on it?
I
Are
don't
you
know,
actually
it'd be
on the
kind of
show?
funny. No, he's
Nope, he's
literally
not on the
just
show.
there's
his
nose.
face. Hi. Hi.
So that's happening.
Hi.
So yeah, I mean, it's
Go lay down. Go lay down. Nope, get down. Go
I
lay
guess
down.
the important thing is that when you have a drive the size of like the big 30 terabyte drive come out on the market, the important thing is that it creates downward pressure on all the rest of the consumer models. So what that means for the rest of us is that the cost of storage starts to creep down. So those are the types of things that you'll start to see larger storage make its way into phone, because the subsequent chips required to make storage for phone becomes cheaper. Dog likes to bark. That also happens when you're dealing with big 30 terabyte drives like that. So yeah, it's exciting. It's very exciting to me. Probably nobody else cares.
No, I don't think anybody else actually cares, but I think it's very exciting.
It's interesting to me how much like stuff like this means something to you now because of getting into content creation.
It's the content creation that's the problem. It's like if I take any type of photos, if I take any type of video, just that is really. As soon as I take him and put him upstairs, you know that he'll bark to come back down.
You know he will.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do it.
I mean, yeah, do you.
Okay, how about you tell him exactly? Oh God, I'm such a. So I bought a Sonos One.
Yeah,
because of course I did.
Yeah, you did.
And it has Alexa on it, which is great.
Except for she goes off.
Sorry,
on a hair
I
trigger.
don't know that.
You don't know anything, Alexa.
Look, we just down here in casual conversation, we have accidentally triggered Alexa, and now she doesn't do it so many times.
She's probably listening to us right now. Alexa.
Yep, there it was. She was listening.
Alexa, shut your hole.
Shut your hole.
No, I'm not gonna. What?
Here, watch this. Problem solved.
Oh, there we go.
Microphone off.
Also, that comment. No.
Abuse it for views.
The dog.
Alexa. No. I'm assuming the reference is to Alexa. Abuse Alexa for views.
No. If it's about the dog, then no. Greg, you're on your own for a second.
I'm on my own. All right. So while Scott decides to go adult, I guess we're done talking about the gigantic 30 terabyte hard drive. But oh my gosh, I want several of them. Let's see what else we got. So there's a new browser that is coming out. This is a late breaking one. I'm gonna bring up the browser one because we haven't really had a chance to talk about them. So there's a new browser that's just kind of made its way onto the scene. There's a lot of people that are talking about it. You might hear more from us about this in the not too distant future, but the browser is called Brave. The interesting thing about it is it kind of has a lot of built-in privacy protection features, which a lot of people are attracted to. Kind of one of the problems with especially content creation at our level is we're really dependent on the ads that a lot of people don't want to see, and I get it.
I understand.
I
have YouTube Red.
Yeah.
I get it.
When I'm not on my YouTube Red account and I have to go to a video that has ads on it, it drives me absolutely insane. So I totally get why people use ad blockers. Mm-hmm. Please don't. It kind of it hurts us, but
if you don't,
I totally get it.
I mean, maybe throw us $1 super chat.
There you go.
Literally $1 super chat.
So
I have no shame. I'll ask.
I know you will. You just did. So the interesting thing about the Brave browser is not only is it kind of created with what appears to be privacy at the forefront. Now, granted, we have not done a deep dive on the tech.
Wow,
that happened.
I'm surprised you didn't say some other word.
No, of course not. Look,
you're the only one.
This is a family show.
You're the only one that's let one of those words fly. And when you did it, I'm so excited that it was you.
It irritates me so much because as soon as the camera turns off, Sailor over here goes to town.
Oh yeah, I did. I do it smartly.
Yes, you do.
Smartly.
Oh, you're calling me dumb. That hurts my feelings.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you said.
You can rewind the tape and find out that I didn't say that.
You just implied.
I didn't. Hey, I got it. That's a Canadian dollar. I love Canadian dollars.
Real money. So anyway, so the Brave browser is really interesting. Not only with all the privacy stuff, which based on just like the surface level, like I just got it installed before we went live, but all the surface level kind of analysis we've done so far looks really good. The interesting thing though is they have a payment system built in. So they will block ads by default, but if you want to support not only a website, but let's just say like you're a YouTube channel, if you can think of one, if you can think of a pair of schmucks that you might possibly want to support on YouTube,
Technically speaking,
rhymes with. The Brave has this whole payment system called BAT, which is Brave Attention Tokens. So basically you buy these tokens and then you can kind of allocate which websites you would want to pay those BAT to. And then on the receiving side, all those companies that have already signed up for a BAT wallet can then receive those funds. And that just kind of helps to offset the cost of, their website, their YouTube channel, for example. So Scott, I've been Sonos ones, whatever the case might be. So Scott and I have been talking about that. I think it's really interesting. Stay tuned for more. We may talk about rolling that out as an option for people to support the channel. And I plan on using Brave extensively just to kind of see how well it works.
I don't.
Well, so the interesting thing for anybody who has I guess pretty much all of us, a mobile plan where you have a data cap of some variety. On Brave's website, they say we can save you up to $23 a month in some cases if you're paying for bandwidth, because since they block ads, especially on mobile, that's less data that you're using to download the ads. So they give you some type of
mobile ad?
They do, which I have it on both now.
I don't have that yet.
So now
I'm gonna go download that.
Now suddenly you're interested.
Well, no, because I needed to. So when I use a browser on my phone, I don't necessarily care about being connected to the Google verse.
Yeah.
But on my laptop, I care a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I care a lot. Because look at all these little thingies I have up here.
You can get thingies, browser extensions, right? Plugins and stuff.
I love how you called it thingies.
Well, yeah, because I was making fun of you. You can get thingies.
Suck it, IT guy.
You can get them there little colored icons up in other web browsers.
Let me explain to you the thoughts of these extensions. Jeez. This show's off the rails. Not like last week. Last week was totally off the rails.
Oh yeah.
What's going on?
Francie has maths.
Oh,
6 hours.
right now, maths.
Whamp, whamp.
Good night, maths.
Yes, you do. Look, do your thing.
This is...
Don't rely on us for maths, because I don't maths. Do you maths?
I can't believe that we have no topic at all about Mobile World Congress. Not a single topic.
There's not... I mean...
MWC?
What came out of Mobile World Congress? We
We
haven't done a huge deep dive on it, but there has been nothing.
It hasn't even started.
It's
It's next week. It's next week.
Oh, I thought it was this week.
No.
Oh, even better. We'll have a topic next week.
Whoa!
Hey! Shazam! See how we do that?
Google is going to bring
Kick
out
it to next
routines.
So the Google Routines thing, I did see something about that today. Give them a rundown of what Routines is.
So let's say that you walk in, and I'm going to say it. Okay. That keyword.
Okay, Alexa.
I have it. Oh, yeah, I think you probably got him. Hey, Alexa.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we turned ours off. Long story short, Google Routines is basically going to automate your life for something if you have it connected to the Googleverse. So let's say that you come home and it's dark and your lights are off, but you have smart lights and a Google Home unit and, I don't know, shades and a coffee maker, whatever you can connect to the internet, right? And you say, okay, I'm home.
Yes.
Basically, the lights come on to a certain temperature or like a warmth, a cool, you want a blue, a purple, whatever that might be. Your Nest sets to a certain temperature. It starts a coffee maker for you, and it pulls the shades up. You can automate your life by doing all of that. And I love that. As we can all see right now, I like lights. I don't know why. I like light bulbs. I like different color bulbs. I have... Oh, that one's a... I stared right into it. That was stupid. That one is a TP... No, that one's a LifeX. That's a TP Link. This is Nanoleaf. That one over there is a Philips Hue. And so I like to try these different light bulbs just to see which ones. I have a Philips Hue one. I don't even use it sitting over there somewhere.
Yeah.
I like that stuff because I like to do home automation.
I gotta give you credit. I give you credit about this all the time, but like the home automation stuff that you've done it's not like, I mean, you would never use it's a lot of the home automation stuff that I see or I have seen in the past is like, I mean, okay, that's kind of cool, but it's insanely expensive, and I would probably never ever really practically use it. And all the home automation stuff you have, I cannot talk today. All the home automation stuff you have, you use regularly.
Oh yeah,
like regularly, multiple times
a day.
That even when I'm over here, you use it multiple times.
Yeah.
So I've always thought that it's like very practical stuff that I find very impressive. So.
Like you won't find something like a coffee maker because there's still, honestly, the reason is, and I can't justify this for a coffee maker because it still requires manual intervention. It doesn't dump the old coffee grounds.
Yep.
You have to fill it back up. So there's still some manual maintenance for it, and they're really expensive. So if I'm gonna just do that, I'll just set an alarm and then hit a button. And then the next morning when I wake up, that's as close to automation as I need it to be.
Or I mean, we've got a coffee pot that is old that you can set a timer for, and then in the morning at that time, it will spin up the bean grinder, grind the beans, and then start the coffee. And then by the time you get downstairs, the coffee is made.
I can't justify one of those until
and
it
that's
actually,
pretty cheap at this point,
right? Until it completely takes care of everything, and I get that.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some of those folks that maybe plug something in like a teapot, like. They set out their tea in the morning and they want their teapot to be warm. So, like, let's say like, I want to turn the teapot on. I tell Google to do it. And it makes the hot water by the time I get down there. Bingo. So there's some automation to it, but for the coffee thing, it's just not for me. The shades, I think the shades are very cool. I don't actually have shades in my house. We have curtains.
We have a lot of shades.
So for you, it worked. But for me, it wouldn't work unless I wanted to just pull the curtains open.
Yeah.
And I'll just pull the curtains open. So
for that it totally makes sense. I mean, like the only time I'd really care about the shades is when, like, especially in the summertime, you open up the windows, you open up the shades, and it does kind of suck at night to go around to all of the freaking windows and close all the shades on all the windows. To be able to just go, hey thing, shut all the windows, whatever, and just have that happen. It would be cool, but again, like we always talk about, like cost justification. Yeah, it absolutely checks the box of cool, but you got to give me something more than cool to be able to justify the extra expense there. Like if you're telling me you can save me money, is it added security? Like if you can give me anything else, now we can start to have a conversation.
Yep.
But if it's just the cool factor, I'm a nerd. Cool doesn't apply to me, man.
I can tell you this much right now: with the lights that I've chosen, it saves energy cost.
But that's a byproduct of the light technology, not the specifics of the light. And I would also say that you probably have a slightly higher energy profile with the smart lights than the non-smart lights because you're running a Bluetooth module in there.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't think I can agree with that.
You
based on what? Based on those bulbs? No way.
No. Not those.
Those bulbs were the ones here.
Okay, that's incandescent. I'm talking LED for LED. If you have these are LED bulbs.
Okay, that's fair. But I'm saying would I swap these out from?
Oh, no question.
Okay,
no,
that's what I mean. It's like so my energy profile went down because of the bulbs that I used.
But that's again for people that can't see what we're pointing to. We're talking
the
regular old schooly incandescent lights versus the new hotness. LED smart lights. No question at all, you will save a boatload of money just by switching to all LED.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean,
Brian brings a good point. It helps me be lazy. It absolutely does. Because I can say...
bedroom light. Oh my God, the bedroom light's on a smart switch.
I can tell you right now, I can say, hey, and then the keyword, and all of these lights will go out with the exception of that big one.
My wife and I used to... we used to basically fight about who was going to be the last person to jump into bed because the last person in bed has to turn on the fan and turn off the lights. Yeah. And it would be a race like, okay, let's go to bed. We'd head upstairs and then immediately it was like throw clothes into the corner and dive into bed so that you're not the last one there. Yeah. Yeah. So, smart lights. Yeah. Smart lights would be awesome for that.
The big thing for me is smart lights. I love the ability that Google Home gives me with the broadcast feature.
Yep.
And I want a whole house sound system. I am going room by room by room, and I'm almost there. I am almost there.
It's impressive how quickly the cost on a whole home sound system has gone down because like the old school days of doing like I want the Sonos like in ceiling speakers for the whole.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
those
things
were
were
crazy expensive.
Now the speakers that you would put out, it looks like not necessarily Google Home Max. That is not a good example. The Apple HomePod, which looks and sounds great, you still shouldn't buy it because it's a big hunk of poo. But
it will leave stains on your table.
But it looks great.
It does, no doubt.
And so you can put one of those great-looking speakers in your home.
Yep.
And you don't need the ones in the ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, so assuming that people have like a logical place that they would put some of these smart speakers that would be able to carry like solid dynamic sound all the way across the room. Like the one argument I will always give the built-in speakers is the fact that it's not dependent on having a flat, clean surface, which is a challenge at my house. We use our flat surfaces for putting stuff on, mail and all that kind of crap. Also, like being able to just walk around, like if I have a speaker over here in the corner and then I walk away, you're getting away from the music. Having it in the ceiling, like regular space speakers in the ceiling, like you're just always in the ambiance. Now, again, cost justification ain't there. Not for me. Not for me.
I'll take a Google Max and a Sonos One. Any day.
Yeah.
Any day. And that's a hint for the video that I do.
Ooh.
Not this week, but next week. We're taking a week off for making content, mostly because this week was bananas.
Yeah.
Straight bananas. So we're taking a week off from a Sunday release, but the next video will either be your Ubiquity versus Google Wi-Fi
probably,
or Sonos One review, because it's sitting right there. And it's
just out of frame.
It's great. It's actually really, really good. I'm impressed.
I'm surprised. I am very surprised. Yeah.
So
minus the Amazon, the Alexa integration.
So long story short, I bought the Sonos One because this year they are going to be putting the Google Assistant on it. So
the fact that it's a toggle, then that you could like, I want to talk to this versus that.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how they're going to do that. My guess would be through the app.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's never going to be on Alexa for me because as you heard, it's just not good. Right before the show, we did a how tall is Michael Jordan? When was he born?
Yeah.
Now, Google Home knows the context.
Yep.
Amazon failed that every time.
Yeah.
It gave the birthday, but not the height, or the height, but not the birthday, when you use the context of he.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Which it is always going to be Google's strong suit and the thing that continues to help them drive forward. Matter of fact, there's another topic that plays with this one real nice. But it's always Amazon is always going to be a little bit behind Google. Stroking out.
Get it together.
Google's always going to be further ahead than basically all the other competitors, at least for the foreseeable future, because of how well they have mastered context, and that is going to buy them a lot. Shut up. So we have in the past talked about how far behind Apple is in the smart home speaker category, and especially artificial intelligence. The assistant category, and the terrible reviews that the HomePod, right? I can speech. HomePod has been getting lately really kind of proves that out. Like the fact that their assistant just isn't there, the integrations just aren't there. Microsoft has now announced. I'm not even going to pay attention to you. Microsoft has now announced that they are also going to jump into the artificial intelligence speaker, the assistant speaker.
Okay.
Powered by
Cortana.
It
has to be Cortana.
But they're partnering with, was that Xiaomi?
It's Xiaomi.
Xiaomi.
Looks like Xiaomi.
Yes. Xiaomi. No, Xiaomi. With Cortana-powered smart speakers. Boy, if you thought that Apple was far behind.
That's a great business move.
What?
I'm not even kidding. Here we go. Are you ready? I did not read this story, and I think it's a great business move.
Okay.
You want to know why?
What you got?
They do not care about the U.S. Not one bit. Microsoft does not give anything. Xiaomi is the number one cell phone provider in China. In Asia, in the Asian markets. I can't say just China.
Yeah.
In the Asian markets. It's far and away number one. It's like number one, and then so it's Xiaomi, something else, Oppo, and then way down the list, no joke, Apple. Way down the list.
Okay.
So Xiaomi is really big in the Asian market.
Yeah.
So they've basically said, look, I can't touch the U.S. This is me making it up like I'm some Microsoft exec.
Well, look, I mean, let's be real.
Logically, though, let's make sense. They're never going to catch Amazon in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
They're never going to catch Google. Apple just got involved, and I'll be surprised if they catch them. So Microsoft is saying, you know what? Punt the U.S.
Yeah.
Let's go straight into the Asian markets, team up with the number one provider, a big name. We're talking about Apple, Google level name in the Asian market. Well, and say, I'll use that as I want data.
And what's
That's a load of people, too.
I was going to say, it's a bigger market than the U.S. Mm-hmm. So that is really interesting, especially when you point out that Microsoft is saying, I'm done with the U.S., I'm going to go overseas. What's, to me, very interesting, my interaction with Microsoft is computer side, operating system, Microsoft Windows, and gaming side, the Xbox. Yep. So I don't play a lot of video games, or I don't play as much video games as I wish I still did. But I still, I understand the market of video games pretty well. Microsoft, the Xbox, is far and away nowhere close to the Sony PlayStation worldwide market. They're just not even close. Yeah. You go overseas, everybody has a PlayStation. Yep. Almost nobody has, especially in Japan. Nobody has an Xbox. Nope. It's very rare. So it's interesting how much... Even though it's the same company, how much you can have two different markets that have just completely different positions for Microsoft. And you're putting it in that light, I'm with you now.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think
it's a great business move. It's like, you know what? I'm teaming up with Xiaomi to do this thing. Yeah. I want to get the data. Because really what it comes down to is the data. Data. Yeah. It's all about the data. The only thing, they have an extra step. They have to translate it.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
They don't really have to.
If they wanted to glean anything to where someone in the U.S. could.
Okay, so now that's an interesting question as far as whether or not the data that you gather from a different market applies to a geographically distinct market.
I'm sure it does.
Would the data gathered about the U.S. market apply anywhere else but the U.S.?
No, but it tells me that they actually don't care so much about the USA. Yeah. Which is fine because they want to make a bigger footprint over in the Asian market. Yeah. Because that's a lot of people. Yeah. Like if you look at it like, am I going to take 7 billion people or am I going to take 10 billion people? Yeah. Like, okay, well I'm going to take the 10 billion. There's a greater opportunity there. Okay. Do you team up with the number one, provider? Okay, I'm gonna team up with the number one provider here. It's the same thing. Microsoft teaming up with Apple or Google, never gonna happen. Yeah. Never gonna happen. So they just basically punt.
Preston joined. Prestone.
What's
going on, buddy? Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Been lighting up Twitter, man. You've been setting the world on fire with your tweets.
Have I?
No, he has. You
got some fire.
You got some hot takes there, man.
Hot takes.
Welcome, Preston. Happy to have you.
Larry had mentioned way back about the Samsung.
Way back when?
Galaxy S9.
Yeah. We're talking about the Samsung Galaxy S9. Why don't you take that one?
So the S9 is allegedly supposed to come out the Mobile World Congress conference, whatever it's called. I think it's Congress, isn't it?
It's Congress.
That's Mobile World
apparently
Congress,
next week, not this week.
Starts
I'm off.
Monday in Barcelona, Spain.
Yes.
Espanola.
Sure, let's go with that.
We'll go with that. Scott explains language. Falcon 9 Heavy. Anyway.
Not what I thought you said.
Really? Yeah. No, I said Falcon 9 Heavy. Definitely said Falcon 9 Heavy. I'm not breaking that one. I'm going to make sure that you're still the only one. So they are going to be coming out with the S9, and I believe the S9 Plus. And the S9 is going to come in midnight black, coral blue, lilac purple. And the S9 Plus is going to be available in the coral blue and the lilac purple. The S9 would sport a 5.8-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED Infinity display, which means it's going to pour over the edges. It's rounded edges.
That's marketing.
It's rounded edges, folks. Let's get it right. With a 2960 by 1440 resolution, the S9 Plus is a 6.2-inch display with the same resolution. The screen is going to be curved on both sides of the device. That's interesting. Both sides of the device. I believe that's the same case with the regular S8. And I don't care. I literally
You don't care about the rounded edges?
No, I don't.
It's
beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's absolutely beautiful, but I don't care. For me, it's not a, like, oh my God, dude, I got to buy a rounded edge phone. I don't care.
That I agree with.
I don't care. It's a nice feature. It's much like the squeeze feature, I bet. Actually, you know what? The squeeze feature on this phone, far and away, I thought it was a joke.
It
I did. I thought it was
me so much
stupid.
that you're into that, man.
I thought it was so stupid, and I use it every day. And I don't know if I can have a phone that doesn't have something like that.
That surprises me so much.
It is so convenient. It is so convenient because the assistant is so responsive to what I need. Like, send a text message, make a phone call, what's on my calendar, what's the temperature. I can do that with a squeeze. It's so convenient. You have no idea.
I guess I can see that because, like, assistant on mine, by the time I say the keywords, it's like, like you're waiting.
Well, you got to connect back with Russia, though. Because
I've got a Huawei.
Okay. You can expect. So Samsung has come out a lot, and I'm really interested to see how they're gonna make this work. So we all know the DxO mark on the Google Pixel 2 received a 98. 98, and it's the highest scoring. It even beat the iPhone X.
The highest score ever.
Everyone talks about how the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL have the best camera in any mobile phone ever made. So it's still, to this day, the champ.
Yeah.
And Samsung's coming for it. Like, their marketing is around the camera.
I mean,
they're coming hot with it. Both phones are going to have an 8 megapixel camera on the front with an f1.7 aperture. Okay. So the Pixel 2 has a f2.2, 2.5 aperture.
Okay.
On the front-facing camera and a 2.0 aperture on the back.
Okay.
The front camera on this new Samsung device is going to have autofocus on the back. It's going to It's going to feature a 12 megapixel. I almost said 12 inch. Whoa, hey now. A single 12 megapixel. It's a family show, Greg. Pull it together.
Hey, I have done none of the talking. This is all you, brah.
Single 12 megapixel lens with the larger S9 Plus would house 2 vertically arranged 12 megapixel sensors.
So the dual camera thing is a thing again.
It's stupid. It's not gonna work. I'm just kidding. It works every time.
It works, but like you're adding material complexity, and other companies, both Apple and Google, have solved the dual camera problem.
Well, Apple's integrated a dual camera. Apple iPhone X is a dual camera
on the back.
Yeah,
I thought it was. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Two. Google's the only one that has a single.
Okay, that's one.
The Pixel 2, it has a single one, but they do it through basically machine learning and AI. Remember when we explained the visual core?
Visual core thing.
Same kind of concept.
Yeah.
The rear camera is going to have a variable aperture. I'm interested to see how this works. f1.5 to f2.4. Optical image stabilization and dual pixel autofocus.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Dual pixel autofocus. They're going to have Snapdragon 845 chips, so they're going to fly a lot. It's going to have 4 gigs of RAM in the S9 and 6 gigs of RAM in the S9 Plus. And they're going to have 64
But they're both running the 845?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm. They're both going to run the 845. Both are going to start with 64 gigs of RAM. Or 64 gigs of RAM. That thing would that would be Falcon 9 heavy. We're talking quick.
That's going to be a pricey phone if they throw 64 gigs.
64 gigs of storage.
Crap.
And you can expand that with and everybody's going to love this, 400 gigs via the micro SD card slot. They are sticking to the guns of a micro SD card slot.
What's funny is that is becoming a feature instead of it just being like table stakes to have a phone. It's turning into a feature because especially with Samsung, they tend to focus on the like business professional. You know what I mean? Like, especially with their Note line, which they're not even so really doing notes anymore, are they?
Well, they did one last year. They did one year before, but that didn't. That did not go well.
That's right.
That did not go well.
Okay, yeah. So, but with their kind of focus on like quasi professionals, like having that ability is
this is direct shots, man. This is direct shots fired too. Type C port, and a headphone jack.
Ooh, interesting.
Kept a headphone jack. Okay. Also going to have a Bixby button.
Waste of time. Can I rebind the Bixby button to
we don't know that.
Literally anything else? Because then it might be useful.
It might be. I don't know.
Brian also has a great point about the rounded edges on the screen. He says he doesn't like how it distorts video when you're watching video on the screen, which makes sense.
I guess I never thought about it.
I mean, I don't have one, so I've never had to watch video on it. They look very aesthetically pleasing. Like they look like beautiful phones, but I mean, beauty's only going to get you so far. Like if it's impractical, the video distortion thing would drive me nuts. I can tell you that right now. It would annoy me greatly.
Yeah. That I'm interested to know how well it's received. There's going to be all kinds of reports about, oh my god, I got a headphone jack and I have a micro SD, and none of those things I actually care about anymore because I've gotten used to not having them. Yeah. I'm not sure what I would do with them. Yeah. Because I've changed my habits of, okay, I have a phone. Okay, this one has 128 gigs, so keep that in mind. But I had a phone that had 32. Yeah. So I changed my whole habit of needing to keep space. So I never come close to the 64.
I still don't need.
I definitely don't come close to the 128 on this, and I record in 4K.
And I don't even know how much storage is in this one.
You need to check that.
Huh?
You want to check that?
I do.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
I don't. It was probably a text message. I don't care.
Are you sure?
Don't at me.
Don't at me, bro.
That much storage, even if I have like 32 gigs of storage, has almost always been enough for me personally. The vast majority of the stuff that I keep on my phone it's downloaded music from Google Music. Mm-hmm. I cache it locally, and then I don't need the Wi-Fi anymore. Mm-hmm. Pictures and stuff that goes to the cloud. I don't need it locally, so.
I use Google. I use Google Photos, so I get it because I have a Pixel. I get it for free, so I'm like, well, whatever. I don't care. Take the picture. Come home, connect on a Wi-Fi. And
done.
Right.
Problem solved.
So it's going to cost somewhere between $750 and $850. That's this. I bet you that's not true. I bet you it's $850 and $950.
Yeah. I bet it's higher.
That's what I'm going to expect. So in South Korea, it's launching somewhere between $875 and $925 in South Korea.
I'm also wondering.
I'm willing to bet it's probably the same.
Because of all of the. So, micro SD slot and headphone jack have been cited by all of the other manufacturers as, we have to get rid of these because we're making room for bigger batteries, more internals, blah, 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 blah. So, I'm wondering what the battery life is going to be like this. And then the other one, too, is. So, to Brian's point, as far as, 6 gig of RAM being overkill for the plus size. I don't know, man. I think it's so. First of all, I guess it's really interesting that unlike computers, where the barrier to entry for how much hardware you needed to be able to push an OS has continually evolved. Having 8 gigs of RAM in a computer for a long time was just fine, and you can still get away with that now. But it's definitely life is much better if you have 16 or 32 gig of RAM. No, it hasn't changed in a while for phones. We've been mostly rocking 4 gig for a long time. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to me that even despite upgrades to OS and the fact that the OSs have gotten a lot heavier, if you will, that we still only need 4 gig RAM is totally fine, even for a premium tier device. So yeah, is 6 gigs of RAM overkill? I'm wondering what the justification is, or why you would need an extra 2 gig of RAM for performance reasons. And then the other thing, with the size problem. What's the battery life going to be like on this thing?
So it's got 3,000 milliamps on the smaller one and 3,500 milliamps on the bigger one. So,
but unless the 845 is just an energy efficient monster,
and I don't think it is.
So, you know what I mean?
My issue is, what are they going to do with the batteries? Are they going to explode again?
Oh, dude,
that's a disaster if that happens again. Oh my god,
yeah.
Disaster. I pray that Samsung doesn't have that again.
I wouldn't say that it's the death knell for Samsung, but the minute one of those phones, if a phone at all catches on fire, it's gonna be everywhere.
So, and that gets into the next topic, which is really interesting. The Verge put out an article, and I always say that I don't like The Verge, but I read their articles, so I'm pretty much playing to them anytime. The iPhone, the Pixel, and the tragic anxiety of having to choose. This is a really interesting article because they bring up a really great point. I have so many choices. Yeah. I don't know which choice to make because you can make an argument to choose one over the other and not be wrong.
Yeah,
You just cannot be wrong. Like
Yeah.
that's the big thing is if I want to do like let's be real, the camera on the iPhone is great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's really good. The camera on the Pixel 2, in my eyes, for me, it's better.
Well, and you
It's
could
just
say
better.
you can say that it's objectively better if and only if you trust what the DxO mark actually means. And there's
Well, that plus taking the picture, but yes.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, as far as like having some type of an objective measurement to say is one better than the other, other than just a pure subjective, I like that one more. Mm-hmm. You can go by DxO, but like I agree with you. The Pixel 2 pictures look better, but that doesn't mean that Apple
iPhone-
looks bad.
No.
At all.
No,
At
it's
all,
just
at all.
it's better to me.
Yeah.
It's
Which is taste. That's subjective.
Right.
Which is half of the problem with all this
right,
stuff.
and the thing is I understand. iPhone. It's been around 10 years.
Yep.
It looks great.
Yep.
The ecosystem is fantastic.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. We are Android fans here. All through and through.
Yeah.
We work on MacBooks.
Yeah, sure do.
Apple's doing some right things. A lot of companies are doing things right these days. It's such a difficult choice because, and this is Google's doing it, Apple's doing it. When you get in one ecosystem, man, is it hard to get out.
Sure is.
When you get in, you're pretty much in.
Yeah.
I know some folks that are just lunatics. They bounce back and forth between both, and I can't do it. I want to try. I have. How many times have I told you I'm gonna go buy an iPhone?
What's funny about that is I was just thinking about I gotta get a new phone.
You do need to get a new phone.
No idea what it would be.
I don't know.
Like there is absolute temptation to buy an iPhone because at this point I used to be really, really big into smartphone, like rooting and ROMing.
Rooting
like
and
that,
ROMing.
dude,
That was
that
a
was
thing.
our
That-
thing. As
oh,
soon as
yeah.
you got a phone, that's what you did. But other than having rooted this phone way back when, haven't done anything to it. And I don't make use of any of that extra customization stuff like what we used to. So
There's no reason to.
totally agree. So what? Like I don't have anything that really ties me hard to the Android platform anymore. I have an Apple laptop, so there's an argument for just going to
So
the AirPods. Jesus,
that's twice.
I know. Stroke it
Jesus,
out, bro.
take the wheel. So I would argue that you probably don't know.
Yeah,
You don't know what you don't know
Fact,
about
yeah.
missing Android.
yeah. Well, sort of because
I'm interested in the Face ID thing though.
it still makes me nervous.
I don't think me personally, I don't think I would like the Face ID, not because
Yeah.
it doesn't work, but because it's stupid convenient having a fingerprint scanner on the back. That is ridiculously convenient.
I agree with you, but what gives me pause are the number of people that have iPhone X's that have said you don't even understand how much better it is to just like look at your phone and have it unlocked. Like one of them that is
Yeah.
like about it.
No, I agree with
Yeah.
him. Like he basically, if the phone was sitting right here,
Yeah.
he would lean kind of forward, look at it, and it would unlock.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay. But man, like the convenience factor of just
Yeah.
that is tough. Like, and
Yeah.
I don't have anything to compare it to
Yeah.
other than that person's opinion, whom I trust a lot.
Yeah.
And oh man, I mean, he loves his iPhone X. I have said I'm going to get an iPhone X.
Yeah.
I have said that.
Yeah.
Because one, I can get it for the channel,
Yeah.
which is a big deal.
Helps us. I mean,
Yeah, because then we can start to do things and have conversations around, okay, Android versus iPhone, I can tell you because I use both.
yeah.
So it's those types of conversations that we really want to get into. Man, it's $1,000. I mean, it's not cheap.
Man, that's a spicy meatball. That's a spicy meatball. Yeah.
And I would love to say like I would get it, and that would be the main rig, that would be the main camera we use when we make our videos.
But you wouldn't,
I
because you'd use that camera.
I know, and it still doesn't look as good as the Sony
Yeah.
because it's made to be a camera.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a tough sell.
Yeah.
But
I'm
like,
telling
when you get into the ecosystem conversations, when you're in one, you're in one.
Yep.
That's just a flat out. like if you get involved with Apple, you're in with Apple. It's just the way it's going to be. When you're in with Google, you're in with Google, and
So
you can make the change, but man, you get used to the features of each operating system.
I feel like Google's easier to get out of than Apple. Like
Agreed.
Apple tries really hard to sink its teeth in you. Like when you get established in the Apple ecosystem, they don't want you to leave. And Google is much more about, we'll put Google in everything so that you never truly leave. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's like Google Play Music is a great example, right? Like, you can get Google Play Music on an iPhone. I know that. So I could stay in Google Play Music, but go to an iPhone.
Yeah.
And I would never feel the difference. It would look familiar to me.
It's almost like
Google's doing that on purpose. They're
Yeah,
saying,
absolutely.
I don't care that you go in there. I just want your activity.
Yep.
But look how nice this would be if you got a Pixel. You know, because you got seamless now.
Yeah.
It'd be even more seamless over here. It's easier.
There's not really a seamlessness difference, though, because my wife has an iPhone. She also has Google Music.
Oh.
I have the 6P. I also have Google Music. Functionally, there's no difference. Like, I don't have an extra layer of integration or features or anything like that I'm missing on the iPhone versus the 6P. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. You made the comment that it's easier to go from Android to Apple.
Yeah.
I would argue that by what Google's doing right now, it's easier for you to then leave Apple.
Because they're getting it everywhere.
Yeah, because they're putting their apps in the Apple ecosystem. Now they can go, well, you were only using it for the hardware before because I've given you everything.
Yeah.
Like you use Google Docs.
And it's certainly cheaper.
And it's cheap. Well, not the Pixel, too. It's not cheaper than... No, it's not.
Well, if you get the big boy.
I got the big boy.
Okay. If
I
you
got the big boy at
versus
the
the iPhone X.
same price.
Gotcha. So if I get a Pixel 2 versus the iPhone X.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely cheaper for you. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I went big boy, big gigs. And I did that on purpose.
Oh my God.
But the thing is, like, by getting their
It's a
apps
thing.
out, apps out there, they're now going, but now you can just get used to the Android system. It's a way easier transition now than it ever was before.
Yeah,
4
I agree.
years ago,
I totally agree with
forget
that.
that.
Yeah.
You were either in one or you were in the other, and there was no mixing.
The other thing that I think is really interesting about Google's strategy is that they're abstracting the phone away. Like, you still have access to Google itself without being tied to the physical device. You know what I mean? Like, you could have your Google speaker, which has nothing to do with your phone. You can have your Google speaker play music.
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting that it seems like maybe the overall, like, big picture Google strategy is to say we're going to get Google everywhere, and then you don't even need the phone. And Apple is still, like, very focused on keeping you in their walled garden, which I get.
On the phone.
On the phone, on the MacBook, on the AirPod. You know what I mean? It's like, here's the thing that you need. This is the one and only. And Google's like, just ubiquity. You have it everywhere.
And they're getting really close.
They
getting really
are
close.
surprisingly. Yeah.
Mayor brings up an interesting point. Unlocks works great. Don't wear hats. Hats throw it off. Won't work if you have one eye closed.
That's really interesting.
Couple things. Interesting that it doesn't work with one eye closed. Why are you trying to open it with one eye closed?
Well, I think it's more of just like the testing thing.
Arrgh, we're talking like a pirate.
Oh my God. That is,
Look at me hearties.
that is the worst pirate accent.
Arrgh, me hearties.
Second of all,
SpongeBob SquarePants.
you have completely derailed whatever thought I had.
SpongeBob SquarePants. Aye, Squidward. Oh, what's wrong with me?
Do you see what I got to deal with?
Every single time we get to, we're 64 minutes in.
And you
every
fall
time,
apart.
I fall apart in an hour.
It's just like
Hours
done.
just like downhill.
Yeah, it's a strip.
fall off the table. What do we got next?
That's all I got, man.
That's all we got.
You want to do anything else?
Do we have to have it? Scott explains the tech.
I
don't have
you
stats.
explained 3 things. Yeah,
We don't have stats with
on
us.
Stats. If you're watching, we love you. We miss you.
He's not watching.
I know he's not. He never watches. Our
He
stuff.
never watches our. He readily admits
Sure.
never watching our show. Like, I don't ever watch your show. I don't go back and watch it.
Yeah. Ah, well.
Did you watch my video last week?
I did.
What was my video last week?
It was the. Hang on. It wasn't. It was the one after the HomePod one.
True story. I can't remember what I put out. So I don't actually know.
either.
Like, I'm not asking to be a jerk, but
Yeah, you are.
no, I'm really not. I don't know what video I put out.
He's
because at 2 a.m. I open one eye. I want some of whatever Scott had.
Look, me and you both.
I'm gonna tell you. So, little known fact. Most people do not know this.
It's Diet Mountain Dew.
It's Diet Mountain Dew. I don't drink.
You do not.
I do not drink. I do not take any type of, drugs. I don't do drugs.
Well, yeah.
This
like,
is what we call.
You're referring to legal drugs. Like you don't. Do
I don't
pills and stuff. You don't know anything. Yeah. I'm on that boat too. I don't take aspirin. Like if I got a headache, tough it out.
So this is what I'm like regularly.
Yeah, on the natch, as they say.
Yeah. So true story. This is me, just all the time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you truly know me, there's a whole other side of me that gets masked for the show.
Yep.
Because
this is a family
show.
This
is a family show. We'll just leave it at that. So Andrew should know this. I've been on Michael Daniels' show.
Yep.
Which you should watch on Wednesdays. I believe it's 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Usually on Wednesdays, and he does another show live called Password, and that is Fridays at 10 p.m. And he keeps inviting us. And true story, I want to do the show. Yes, he does. Yeah. So hang on a second.
Never passed that invite along to me.
But you've always been either nighttime on call or whatever.
Or whatever.
So,
yeah.
Anyway,
I watch this show regularly. Actually, I'm really getting into the word game.
So that's the game I'm talking about. So he does that every Friday, and the only reason, like, I'm 10 o'clock, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like I'm whipped.
Yeah.
Whipped tired.
Whipped, Brian. Whipped. Cool.
Why are you saying it like that?
Why am I saying what, Brian? Anyway.
So I want to do it, but we need to get earlier. And also, you don't even know what's coming next. I always love to do this to Greg.
No clue.
We are at some point. I don't know if it's going to be next week. Probably not going to be next week. But a week after that, some point.
He likes to sign me up for stuff. My wife does this too. It drives me nuts. You sign me up for things, and then
CEO status.
I just get to find out and like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Cool. Thanks for the memo.
I do it because I honestly do it because then it forces us to do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
It forces us out of the comfort zone. Take this. We're going to bring people on the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah.
We've talked about
We've talked about a lot. Yeah.
So we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Probably not next week. Maybe the week after. And I absolutely don't know who the first one's going to be. Because I don't even know how we're going to do it. Because we haven't tested it.
We'll make it up as we go.
We're going to make it up. It's probably going to be a hangout. I'm willing to bet.
Yeah.
Definitely not Skype.
No.
Skype
is a dumpster fire.
Hot
it's
trash.
Awful. Yeah.
Hot trash. And we're going to bring those folks on. And we're going to start bringing in guests.
Yeah.
And that'll be an interesting dynamic because we barely like each other.
Accurate. Mm-hmm. Why don't you hit them with your socials, Peach? Socials.
So, at Scott Peachy on the tweet machine. At, this is no joke right now.
This is real.
At Falcon9 Heavy. Falcon, like the bird, 9.
N-I-N-E. Spelled out.
Yes, spelled out. Not the number. Spelled out. Heavy, like me.
On the Instagram.
Falcon9 Heavy.
Yeah. You can find me at Ominous Hominid on Twitter. Or you can find us, the channel Twitter machine is at The Tech Speaks.
We don't do Facebook anymore because it is a cesspool.
It's a dumpster fire, yeah. That's pretty much it. So, yeah, that's it for us. Thank you all for stopping by to check out our latest dumpster fire of a show. We appreciate everybody's attention. If you haven't already done so, the pitch that we always make to all of our friends, if you haven't done so, please like, share, and definitely subscribe. Tell your friends. Have them stop by for the live show. We love the audience participation. Literally cannot talk tonight.
Wow.
Participation. Bring more people. Let's do it again. Same time, same place.
Always same place.
Same time next week?
Same time. Yeah. We are so effective.
Are we just going to commit
effective
to it?
pretty much all the time now. It's going to be 6
Friday,
p.m.
6 p.m. Eastern.
It just makes it easier.
Yeah.
It
works way better for us, too.
Knock it off after work. I'm going to shave this beard down. I'm doing it.
That'll be interesting.
I'm going to thin it down.
I cut mine back.
You did. You cut yours
dialed in
way back.
Had to. Started to look homeless. Security guards were stopping me at the door like, sir, like,
we don't
have public restrooms here. And I'm like, I work here. I wish that was a true story. It'd be hilarious.
It would be
It's
true.
not. That's it. See you guys.